From forgotten cousins to possible villains, these Peppa Pig characters raise serious questions. 1. Julian the donkey. In Mr. Potato's Christmas show, there's a blink and you'll miss it moment. While everyone's watching the play, a small donkey is sitting quietly in the crowd. He looks about the same age as George. Nobody says his name and he never talks. But fans have started calling him Julian. Why? Some think he might be part of Delphine Donkey's family, the French donkeys we've seen before. Maybe he's Delphine's cousin, visiting from France for the holidays. Or maybe he just moved to Peppa's town and hasn't made friends yet. We don't know where he came from, but one thing's for sure. Julian's quiet little appearance has made a big mystery. Second, Whitney Wolf. If you've seen a little brown wolf in a blue dress hanging around Peppa's town, you're not alone. That's Whitney. Well, that's what fans call her. She's not Wendy Wolf, who has gray fur and wears pink. Letitia looks totally different. So who is she? Some think she's Wendy's cousin, maybe from Daddy Wolf's side of the family. Others believe she comes from a different wolf family and only visits once in a while. She's never had a line, never been introduced, and no one ever talks about her. But she shows up just enough to make you wonder, why is she there at all? 3. Mr. Hyrax.
Have you booked a table?
We're with Grandpa Pig.
Please, follow me.
You might not recognize Mr. Hyrax right away, and that's fair. He barely ever talks, but if you look closely, he's been around more than you'd think. He's mostly seen in scenes with Grandpa Pig, often helping out or working in the background. What's strange is that he doesn't just do one thing. He has at least 3 different jobs. He runs the sailing club's clubhouse, pops up at town events, and helps with odd tasks. But we've never heard where he lives, who his family is, or how he got all these jobs. He's quiet, helpful, and always busy. But we know almost nothing about him, which makes him one of the show's biggest question marks. 4th, Pearl Pony. In the Soft Play episode, there's a birthday party packed with kids. And right in the middle of the ball pit, there's a little pony in a yellow dress. She doesn't speak, and no one says her name. But fans now call her Pearl Pony. She looks like she could be related to Pedro Pony, maybe a cousin or younger sibling. But if that's true, why is she never mentioned again? Most believe she lives outside of town and only came for the party. Like any kid, she just wanted cake, games, and fun. It's a quick appearance, but enough to leave fans wondering, was she just visiting? Or is there more to Pearl than we know? 5. Mr. Deer.
Hello.
Buongiorno! Come posso aiutare una così bella signora?
When Peppa's family visits Italy, they meet all kinds of new characters. One of them is Mr. Deer, the man who rents them a car. He's friendly, smiles a lot, and helps Daddy Pig pick a vehicle. But here's what makes him different. He doesn't speak a word of English, not even a little. Every other Italian character in that episode, including the police officer, somehow understands English. But not Mr. Deer. He seems totally confused by what anyone says. It's a strange detail for a show where almost everyone can communicate. Maybe he's never left his hometown. Maybe he's just really focused on cars. 6th, Shadow Cat. During Mr. Potato's Christmas show, there's a black kitten sitting quietly next to Carol Cow. Fans were quick to notice. It's not Candy Cat. This kitten has darker fur and a totally different vibe. Some started calling her Shadow Cat, like a mirror version of Candy from a parallel world. Others think she's Candy's cousin, or maybe even her sibling, but that seems unlikely since they've never been seen together. A few fans believe she might be related to another mystery cat seen at Mandy Mouse's birthday. 7th, Penny Pony. If you look closely in some episodes, you'll spot a quiet little pony who never speaks. Penny Pony. She's not just another background extra. Penny was originally meant to be a main character. In fact, she was supposed to be Pedro Pony before the showrunners changed their minds and made Pedro a boy. Instead of deleting her completely, they kept the old design and dropped her quietly into the background. That's why fans believe she might be Pedro's cousin or sibling. She's part of the show's past, but her story was never told. Now she just floats through scenes like a forgotten draft, and unless she makes a big return, Penny will stay one of Peppa Pig's biggest what-ifs. 8. Miss Bear. You've probably seen Miss Bear without even noticing her. She pops up in crowd scenes, waiting for Mr. Potato, riding Grandpa Dog's boat, or wading through the town's biggest muddy puddle, but she almost never speaks. In one episode, we find out she lives in a cabin in the woods and is Belinda Bear's mom. She's also married to Mr. Bear, not to be confused with Dr. Brown Bear, who wears glasses. Some fans even think she and the doctor are siblings. Still, for someone who shows up a lot, we know very little about her. No job, no story, no backstory. Just a quiet bear in the background who clearly has more going on than the show lets on. 9. Claire Cat.
Welcome to Cheese World. Have any of you been here before?
Yes, I have.
Oh, hello, Mandy. Nice to see you back again.
During Mandy Mouse's birthday at the cheese-themed park, a tiny cat appeared on screen for just a few seconds. That's all it took for fans to instantly give her a name, Claire Cat, and start making art, theories, and backstories. She has no lines, no introduction, and has never shown up again. But the Peppa fandom ran with it. The most popular idea is that Claire is Candy Cat's niece, which means Candy might have an older sibling we've never seen. Some also think she could be related to Shadow Cat from the Christmas play. The show never confirms anything, but Claire's short appearance was more than enough for fans to treat her like a real character, with a secret family tree waiting to be explored. 10th Claire Cow.
It's lots of shops all under the same roof.
Wow!
In several episodes, there's a young cow who quietly tags along with Mrs. Cow. Fans have named her Claire Cow, and she's stirred up a lot of mystery. She shows up at the Children's Festival, on the Ferris wheel, walking through Times Square, and even sitting front row at Mr. Potato's Christmas show. But she's never with Peppa's school group, which means she likely doesn't go to Madame Gazelle's class. Some think she's Mrs. Cow's niece, just visiting town. Others believe she's actually Mr. Bull's daughter from before he married Mrs. Cow. If that's true, why has no one ever mentioned her? And more importantly, where was she in Mr. Bull's and Ms. Cow's wedding? Whether she's a relative, a secret daughter, or just passing through, Claire Cow definitely has fans asking questions. 11th, Mr. Badger and Mrs. Badger.
Hello there, my lovelies. I'm Mrs. Badger the farmer.
Hello! You've probably seen Mr. and Mrs. Badger in the background, but the show never really tells us who they are. They live on a farm, take care of animals, and sometimes show up at events like museum trips or town festivals. Mrs. Badger even has her own short episode at the petting zoo. But even there, we don't learn much. They're clearly part of the community and have a full life off-screen. Yet we never see where they live, what they do for fun, or if they have a family. They're always around, always helpful, but always on the edge of the story. It feels like they have a whole world going on. We just never get to see it. 12th, Uncle Pig.
Hello, Auntie Pig and Uncle Pig.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, big brother.
Uncle Pig doesn't show up all the time, but when he does, he leaves an impression. He's Chloe and baby Alexander's dad, and we learn a few surprising things about him. For starters, unlike his brother, Daddy Pig, he doesn't wear glasses. That might not sound like a big deal, but it hints that only one of their parents had bad eyesight. Uncle Pig is also great with tools. He built an entire puppet theater for Chloe by himself, and he's not just handy, he can cook too. He made a pumpkin pie for Aunt Dottie's visit. Quiet, talented, and surprisingly different from Daddy Pig, Uncle Pig might be the most underrated grown-up in Peppa's world. 13. Baby Alexander. Noise Paradox.
We found noise is the best way to get baby Alexander back to sleep. He likes noise.
Baby Alexander is Peppa's cousin and the youngest member of the family. Until baby Evie arrives, of course. He's mostly known for eating, burping, and sleeping. But there's one thing about him that's never made sense. Chloe says he needs noise to fall asleep. So everyone makes a bunch of silly sounds to help him nap. But then, moments later, he wakes up crying when Daddy Pig walks into the room. Wait, what? He needs noise to sleep, but noise also wakes him up? That doesn't add up. It's a strange little detail the show never explains. Maybe baby Alexander just has picky sleep habits. Or maybe this baby is secretly more complex than anyone thinks. 14. Auntie Pig. We know Daddy Pig and Uncle Pig are brothers, and we know Mummy Pig and Aunt Di are sisters. But what about Auntie Pig, Uncle Pig's wife and Chloe's mom? She's clearly from a different pig family, one we've never seen or heard about. That means there must be a third pig family somewhere out there. But where are they? We don't meet Auntie Pig's parents, siblings, or even hear a single mention of them. Every other main character in Peppa's world has a clear family tree, except her. Did her side move away? Are they just never shown? For someone who's part of Peppa's extended family, Auntie Pig brings a lot of questions and 0 answers. 15. Miss Crocodile, Predator with a smile.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Crocodile. I'm the keeper in charge of the penguins.
Miss Crocodile is one of Peppa Pig's most unusual characters. She's the only talking reptile in a world full of warm-blooded animals like pigs, rabbits, and bears. That alone makes her stand out. But here's what's stranger. She works at the zoo, helping care for other animals, including ones she might normally eat in the wild. She seems polite and helpful, but remember that odd moment when she gave Madame Gazelle a long stare during feeding time? Some say it was just a joke, but others Others aren't so sure. Is she hiding something? How did a crocodile even end up in Peppa's friendly town? 16th, Mr. Lion. Mr. Lion seems like a nice guy. He's quiet, professional, and works at the zoo just like Miss Crocodile. But there's something odd about that. Lions are carnivores. Crocodiles too. So why are the zoo's caretakers animals that would normally be predators? In the real world, a lion wouldn't be trusted to babysit a zebra. But in Peppa Pig, he's in charge of feeding time. He doesn't act dangerous, but his role raises a lot of questions. Did the zoo just overlook his instincts? Or is there a deeper reason behind why these predators have such important jobs? 17th Italian policeman.
Good day. I am returning this young bear. He was left on the aeroplane.
Oh, thank you.
When Peppa's family visits Italy, something weird keeps happening. Teddy goes missing, not just once, but again and again. And every single time, a friendly Italian policeman shows up out of nowhere to return it. No one explains how he finds Teddy so fast, or how he always knows exactly where Peppa's family is. It's almost like he's following them. Even stranger, he speaks perfect English, unlike other locals. Some fans even think he might be related to Captain Otter. They look a lot alike. So, who is this guy really? A helpful cop? A secret spy? Or maybe something else entirely? One thing's clear. If you lose something in Italy, this mysterious officer will find you first. 18. Dr. Hamster and the Hamster Paradox. Dr. Hamster is smart, kind, and runs the vet clinic in Peppa's town. She wears glasses, drives a rescue van, and even treats big animals like tortoises and dogs. So far, so normal. But here's the twist. In the same show, we also see other hamsters kept as tiny, squeaky pets, like Madame Gazelle's classroom hamsters. So why is Dr. Hamster treated like a person, while others are kept in cages? Are they different species? Smarter? Related somehow? Or is this just one of Peppa Pig's biggest logic holes? 19th, Grandpa Pig. Grandpa Pig loves boats. He sails often, collects ships in bottles, and even has a parrot named Polly. But take a closer look, and things start to feel suspicious. His boat flies a Jolly Roger flag, the classic pirate symbol. And Polly the parrot? She used to hang out with Captain Redbeard, an actual pirate in Peppa's world. Grandpa Pig seems like a sweet old sailor, but these pirate clues say otherwise. Was he once part of Redbeard's crew? Or did he leave that life behind for gardening and storytelling? Nobody knows for sure. 20. Ben and Holly. Ben and Holly's Little Kingdom is made by the same team behind Peppa Pig, but are the two shows connected? Some fans think so. In one episode, while Peppa's family visits Times Square, there's a giant glowing sign for a Ben and Holly live show, like it's a real Broadway hit in Peppa's world. Then, in another episode, we see Holly on the cover of a storybook Peppa reads to George. Is Ben and Holly just a fictional show inside Peppa's universe? Or are they somehow real characters, just living in a different part of the same world? Whether it's a fun Easter egg or a full-on crossover, one thing's clear. The link between these two shows isn't just a coincidence. 21st, Aunt Dottie.
I haven't seen you since you were a baby.
I'm a big girl now.
So I see. Give me a hug. Oh.
Aunt Dottie is Mummy Pig's sister, but something about her doesn't add up. She speaks with an American accent and shows up out of nowhere to celebrate Thanksgiving, a holiday no one else in Peppa's town even knows about. She's been living in the US for years, and some fans think she was raised there by Peppa's great-grandmother, who's never been seen on screen. That would explain the accent, but not the strange behavior. In one episode, she gives Peppa and George a toy with wheels, knowing full well the town has steep hills. It could have been dangerous. Was it a bad call? Or something more? Mr. Gazelle. At first, it seems like Madame Gazelle doesn't have a partner, but in one episode, a painting appears in her house showing a well-dressed gazelle in a suit and top hat. That's not just any random character. Fans believe it's her husband. Things get weirder at the Science Museum. As Edmund rides the rocket, the same gazelle appears again, but this time, he's in an old military uniform from centuries ago. How could one person be in two totally different time periods? Some say he's a time traveler. Others think he's a ghost. Mr. Labrador. Mr. Labrador doesn't say much, but he's always around. He works with Mr. Bull, shows up at fancy restaurants, and even travels to Paris. When Peppa's family visits the Eiffel Tower, he's spotted wearing a bright floral shirt, like he's trying not to be recognized. But fans know it's him. He might change his outfit, but not his face. Whether he's working, relaxing, or hiding in plain sight, Mr. Labrador seems to have more going on than we ever hear about. Well, that got weird fast. Who knew Peppa Pig was filled with secret cousins, mystery jobs, and possible time travelers? But here's a thought. What if the creators are planting clues on purpose? Let's debate in the comments. Smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next theory drop.